Hi, this is Victor Cuevas, Victor for Advice. I wanted to shoot another quick video. As you know, this website is dedicated to helping you get out of debt, all of your debt, including your mortgage, in 10 years or less. And then to show you how to create your own family bank so you never have to be in debt to anyone else again. So that in the future, when you need to borrow money, you borrow from your own bank and you pay it back with interest. And that actually creates wealth. It's an asset that continues to grow, guaranteed, tax-free for the rest of your life. It's a very powerful concept to be able to get out of debt and create wealth at the same time, and then to be able to continue to finance your life and grow wealth at the same time. And then when you get ready to retire, or if you just want to keep working and start drawing income, you get to draw a tax-free passive income from your bank for the rest of your life if you want, and then you pass it on to your heirs, again, tax-free. So that's what I'm all about. That's what this website is dedicated about. And to accomplish those things, there are a set of principles that we must follow. Now, there are principles for everything in life. There are principles for science, there are principles for business, and there are principles that apply to your personal life. And getting out of debt is part of that. And we teach money mastery principles, and there's a video on the website called the 10 Principles of Money Mastery, and they're all about helping you get out of debt and living a financially prosperous life. And I don't mean you have to be rich, but being debt-free and having money to save for retirement at the same time, and being able to provide for your family without stress, and send your kids to college and get them married and go on vacations and retire comfortably. That is financial prosperity, and for most Americans, that's not happening anymore. But there's another very interesting and very fundamental principle that I really didn't think about. Even though I practice it in my life, I didn't think about it when I was putting all this together. And really, as I've been practicing financial advisory and helping people with their finances and their future and planning and those kinds of things, it's a principle that I hadn't really talked that much about or even thought about. But recently at the church that I attend, Church of the Highlands here in Auburn, Alabama, we were going through a teaching series on giving, generosity. And at the very same time, I was reading a book. It's authored by Stephen Scott, who started out with nothing. And in fact, the first 8 jobs he ever had, he lost them within a year, or he just had to quit. And then finally, things clicked for him, and he went on to become a multimillionaire and became probably one of the top successful marketing strategists ever, selling billions and billions of dollars worth of products and becoming a millionaire many times over. But he wrote this book entitled The Richest Man Who Ever Lived, King Solomon's Secrets to Success, Wealth, and Happiness. And I wrote a blog about what I learned in this book on generosity. And I want you to go to my blog, and you can read it. In fact, and there's a link on the blog where you can purchase this book if you want. But it's interesting that at the same time I'm reading this book, we have this teaching series at church. And we had a guest speaker, and his name is Rick Warren. And many of you may know that he wrote Purpose-Driven Life. Now, the Purpose-Driven Life is the book that's been most widely read in the history of the earth, other than the Bible. So it's been a very successful book, and it's worth reading. But in his teaching, he did an illustration, and I want to do that for you because I think it's important for you to do this. Go through this. This is going to be an interactive video. So bear with me on this. I think you're going to get a lot out of it. So I just want you to hold your hands out here in front of you. And then make a fist. Just make a fist. And just squeeze those hands and make that fist. Now, what are you feeling right now? See, whenever I do this, it tenses me up. And you're probably feeling a little tense. having these fists like this, holding on. But you know, this is how many of us, including myself in the past, have lived our lives. We're just holding on for dear life because things aren't going the way they should be. We're in debt. We owe money. We're worried about what's going to happen tomorrow. And if we lose our jobs, we may not even be able to last 2 or 3 months before things get really bad. And we just don't want to give anything up. And folks, this is not a good way to live your life, is it? I mean, but the average family lives decades like this. It's just not good. Now, what I want you to do is just open your hands. Just go ahead and open them. Now what do you feel? See that blood races back into your hands and you begin to relax. Your shoulders relax and it feels better. Wouldn't it be nicer to be able to live your life like this instead of like this? See, when your hands are open, you're able to give. Give of yourself, your time, and your money. And you're saying, Victor, I don't have any money to give. I'm so busy with life and work and kids and family and everything else. What can I give? But folks, it's a principle of life that if you want to have that financially prosperous life, you have to give. And look, folks, when your hands are open like this and you're giving, you're also in a position to receive. And that's important as well. Well, let me put it this way. No matter how much in debt you are, no matter how bad your financial situation is, folks, there's somebody out there that's a lot worse off than you. And you know that's true. And I don't care how little you have to give. I mean, even if it's $5. In my blog, and I really encourage you to read it, I talked about a local charity right here in the Opelika, Auburn area that you can give just $5 and it can have a huge impact on someone right here in our community, in your backyard, if you live in this area. And you can give $5. So again, if you're willing to give, you're also in a position to receive. And that's just not me saying that this is a hardcore, fundamental, mental, I can't even talk, principle of living a financially prosperous life. Let me back it up with a little text. Now, I'm going to read to you from the Bible. Now, I know a lot of you that are listening to this probably, well, you may not believe everything the Bible says. I happen to believe it's true. The author of this book, Stephen Scott, wrote that whole book based on the Book of Solomon. The principles in there, he went on to become extremely successful and wealthy, following those principles. But he writes a lot about giving. And here in chapter 12, verse 24, it says, give freely and become more wealthy. Be stingy and lose everything. Listen to this. Give freely and become more wealthy. Be stingy and lose everything. And the next verse it says, the generous will prosper. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. Again, the generous will prosper. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. I want you to realize that in your process of getting debt, and I am here to help you do that, give you a turnkey system to just make it as simple as possible. While you're getting out of debt, you need to be giving. You need to be giving away part of your life, part of your money. It will enhance your debt elimination. And the benefits for your heart, it's going to be hard to measure that. In another verse, then I'll stop. Proverbs 19, verse 17, if you help the poor, you are lending to the Lord, and he will repay you. If you help the poor, you are lending to the Lord, and he will repay you. That's kind of an interesting thought, to have the God of the universe in debt to you because you're giving to the poor. So, again, I just want to emphasize that being generous with your money and your time, no matter what situation you're in, is a fundamental principle of life that's going to help you get out of debt. And just think about it, folks. You really want to live the rest of your life like this? Or do you want to open those hands and bless those around you and watch how you in turn are blessed, and how your financial situation, by applying the principles that we talk about on the website, they will help you get out of debt and live a financially prosperous life. Folks, I want you to own your life, not rent it. This is Victor Cuevas, and I'm with Victor for Advice. I want you to live debt-free and retire tax-free.